Welcome to EntreProgrammers Podcast, the podcast for developpreneurs, with your hosts, Josh Earl, Derek Bailey, and John Sonmez, the podcast where you get to be a fly on the wall listening to real conversations of three developers trying to tackle the challenges they face as entrepreneurs.
Hey, John Sonmez here, and I just wanted to take a quick moment to thank the sponsor for our podcast, Signal. Without Signal, we wouldn't have a place to host our podcast, and as you know, Signal is actually from one of our own here at EntreProgrammers. It is the creation of Derek Bailey. So Derek is actually the owner and creator of Signal, and it's a podcast hosting service. So if you are interested in creating your own podcast, go on over to signalleaf.com and sign up for an account today and check out how easy it is to get started. The thing I really like about Signal is just how easy it makes it for hosting your podcast. Of course, I have my own podcast, Get Up and Code, that I host at Signal, and I've been very happy with it. We're hosting EntreProgrammers there as well. And so thank you again, Signal for sponsoring this show. And don't forget to check out Signal at signalleaf.com if you're interested in starting your own podcast. All right, we're live.
Everything is cool when you're part of a team. Welcome to the Halloween edition of EntreProgrammers.
Derek has pledged to leave his Lego Man head on for the entire show.
It's going to happen. This thing is not comfortable.
What did you make it out of?
Oh, hold on.
He put a propane tank on his head.
Yeah, I know. That's what it looks like.
Oh, man.
He's huffing propane
not comfortable. Hold on. Let me get my headset on, too. And then I'll show you what I made it out of.
So Derek's had a productive week.
Yeah.
Highly productive. Hold on a second. I got to switch the audio output.
That's funny. I don't have a Halloween costume this year. I was Superman last year.
Nice. All right, John, so for those on the video, I mean, clearly this thing is hollow, but what this started out as originally was a Lego storage container.
Oh, okay, that's why it says Lego on it.
Yeah,
okay.
It is an official Lego product. You can see the Lego logo on the top. You can see the handle on the top as well. And so this was a Lego storage container. It's got shelves on the back or inside. So there's a shelf here and a shelf on the bottom. And then the bottom of it, of course, used to be completely whole. I cut half of the bottom off and then took the other half of the bottom off and put Velcro straps on it.
Okay.
So I can strap the chin onto me. And then I drilled out the eyes and the mouth using a Dremel tool.
Nice.
Okay.
So as a child, Derek, were you frequently taken to the emergency room with your head lodged in things?
A couple of times.
I was just thinking about those nice jagged edges there for to cut your neck when you put it on. That's good.
Yes, that was a problem originally. So I used my Dremel tool to blunt the edges quite a bit so it's smooth. And I typically wear a yellow face mask with it too, so that it protects me a little bit more.
Nice.
I love my Dremel tool. I used to restore antique straight razors. That was how I got into the whole straight razor thing.
Right.
And like rusty, crappy looking, tarnished straight razors. And I'd take my Dremel tool and it's called a flap wheel. And it's just like a wheel with a bunch of sandpaper strips glued to the middle.
Right.
And it spins, and you just hit the blade with that, and it puts a nice little satiny kind of sheen on it.
Nice.
Takes off all the rest.
Yeah, this Dremel tool I got is one of the best investments I've made.
Yes.
It's for as far as tools go. It's my go-to tool for most things. Probably only second to my power drill.
Nice.
Do you have the extension for it? Like I got the flexi shaft extension.
I do not. I looked at it and I was talking to my dad about it. My dad's been in construction and stuff longer than I've been alive. And my dad basically said, "Yeah, I have that. I have literally never used it once." So I was like, "All right, I won't bother." Although in the case of building that mask, there would have been a few places where it would have been helpful, but
yeah,
I got it done anyways.
Sometimes the body of the tool gets in the way a little bit.
Right, exactly. But I got it done anyways, and it turned out really well. It's been fun wearing this mask around. And of course, being the Lego movie Emmett, I've got the orange jumper construction suit. I did a Photoshop of his name tag and put it in a name badge holder that I had from a conference.
Nice.
And then I took a cardboard box and taped red paper around it and attached that to the back of the construction jacket as the piece of resistance.
Nice.
Nice.
So it's a pretty awesome costume.
Yeah, I've always wanted to buy a Dremel tool, but I hardly own any tools at all. I've purposely because I don't use them. At one point I had tools, but then it's like I just hire people to do things now. So it's like I have like a toolbox that has very basic stuff in there, just the minimum stuff that I need. But I've kind of decided, well, if I really really needed a tool, I would either hire someone or I'll rent it or borrow it, or borrow it from my dad.
Right. Yeah, if my dad didn't live 8 hours away, I'd just borrow his tools all the time because he's got a shop the size of my house that's full of tools.
Yeah.
But the great thing is I get all of his hand-me-downs.
Yeah.
So I've got a really nice hammer drill and chop saw and all kinds of great stuff that I got from him. And the Dremel I bought myself. But that's one of the few tools that I've purchased myself. But so growing up, I was doing a lot of construction work with him my whole life, building houses and cars and all kinds of stuff. So it's not quite second nature. It's third or fourth nature for me to do a lot of small repairs around the house.
Yeah.
I'm pretty good with the tools that I have, but I know my limits, and I know when I do need to call somebody, and either because it will take too long. Not that I can't do the work, but it would just take too long, or because I just can't do the work, and I don't want to take the time to learn because it's not worth my time.
Yeah, the funny thing is I actually did fix my refrigerator.
Nice.
I replaced the board on it and like troubleshoot, but it didn't end up being worth my time. I don't think. I mean, it was just a project to do But now I understand refrigerators. But
I've repaired my my washing machine for washing clothes. I repaired that twice, only because there's nobody in town that would service it.
Yeah. Wow.
So I got on the internet, looked up the fault code, ordered the part that I needed, and looked up the instructions on how to replace it. It took about an hour to do, but it was worth it because it was like an $800 washer.
Yeah.
So I've repaired that twice, 2 different parts, and so I know enough about it that I'm not going to call anybody for that anymore. But for refrigerators, and I had a leaky faucet outside in the yard, called someone for that. I just a few minutes ago, 20 minutes ago, got done replacing a leaky faucet in my bathroom. My dad's here in town. You can see the bed behind me where they're sleeping in the office. So I had my dad show me how to repair one side of the leaky faucet, and then I did the other one so that I would know how.
Yeah.
Nice.
Now if we have any more leaky faucets in the house, I can do that. So little things like that. Certainly, if I had big things and a lot of things, it's definitely worth my time to pay somebody else. And I pay somebody else to clean the house and mow the lawn and do all kinds of other stuff. So it's like you said, John, sometimes it's just I want to do it because I want a project, because I want something to do that's not software, that's not computers. And that's certainly a valid reason to want to do something and to take the time to do it.
And sometimes with kind of those projects, you have that kind of mindless work where it's like you just get into that zone where you're like doing work. It's like doing a puzzle. If you've ever like done a big puzzle or something, you just get into this zone where your brain is doing like something and you're not having to think, but it's like almost a relaxing work. So
yeah, I put down floorboards in the attic of my house. And I did it entirely on my own. Went to Home Depot and bought the boards, bought a simple circular saw, like the hand kind, and made some pretty darn straight cuts along 8-foot boards using nothing more than a handsaw. So that was fun. That was like 7 years ago when we first moved into the house. 9 years ago when we first moved in, but yeah, good times.
Nice.
So there you go, Matt Kramer. There's my Lego head.
So what's been going on in the business in the EntreProgrammer world
Big
this
news
week?
from me. Yay, me! Signal Leaf made an $11 profit this month.
Hey, all right, that's awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
That's awesome, Derek.
That
Congrats.
seriously, that's like
Killer.
super amazingly. I can't believe it happened.
So it's not weighing you down now. Now you're profitable in your
At least for this month.
yeah.
We'll see, because there's two major contributing factors to that this month. One, Mongo Lab dropping their price so that I'm only paying $40 a month, which I talked about last week, which is amazing. Thank you again, Mongo Lab. And then also, traffic overall seemed to be down this month. I spent $125 on Amazon S3 last month, and I've only spent about $107 this month.
Yeah.
So
I'll try my best. I'm releasing Get Up and Code episodes every week now, so I'll
Nice.
try my best to ease up some of your bandwidth.
I appreciate that.
Plus, this podcast is growing pretty dang quickly in the last
It is.
week. I don't know if you noticed the spike. We've been, I think it helped being mentioned on the Freelancer show
Yes,
and
very much so.
stuff. So yeah, and we're getting really good feedback. I get a lot of emails from people that listen to us just ramble.
Right? I don't know why people listen to us ramble for an hour and a half, but apparently we're doing something right.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty long too. I mean, an hour
Yeah.
and a half is definitely on the long side for a podcast. So
Yeah, but we wanted to keep this to be our real mastermind group, and that's
Yeah,
like we don't artificially manipulate the podcast. So
right. Very much so.
this is the truth. You are seeing us really succeeding, really failing. Making $11 profit.
Yes. So to all the haters that told me to give up because there's no profit in podcasting and it wasn't a viable business. Take that. And to everybody else that said, "Go Derek, yeah, thank you." But seriously, I owe you, Josh and John, probably the largest thanks for this, other than my customers, of course. Because without you guys, there's no way I would have stuck with this for as long as I have. I mean, I've even with this group, even with you guys, I went through 6 months earlier this year where I didn't touch Signal Leaf at all.
Yeah.
And so there have definitely been dry spells and periods where I just didn't want to think about it and wanted to give up on it and just kind of let it sit and let it do its thing while it was doing it, just so that I wouldn't give up on it. And I mean, having $11 in profit for this first time ever is nice, but I got a long way to go. I still got a lot of work to do. I was talking with another friend of mine earlier this week about the things that he's going through with his business, and he's up to, I think he has 2 employees now, 1 or 2 employees, and he was talking about a big deal that he was trying to get with a very large company that was going to be like $50,000 a year, and that was going to be, by far his biggest deal yet. And he was, at one point in the conversation, he was saying, maybe I should just go back to a full-time job somewhere and
Yeah.
not put so much time and effort into this, because this is really hard and it's making me depressed and frustrated, and it is hard. It sucks. I mean, for all the episodes that I've been happy and joyful in this, there's probably been 3 episodes of this podcast where I've been just utterly depressed and miserable and wanting to quit, and it's hard.
Well, it's interesting. There's like I think it's easy to forget that our human brains are goal-seeking machines.
Yes.
Right. It's like really good book on that is that book Psycho-Cybernetics, but basically Psycho-Cybernetics.
Right.
But basically, the thing is, like, if you try at something, you will eventually succeed at it. I mean, you might not succeed on the same trajectory that you initially set out. Like, you might have to alter your path, but your brain is, as long as you're willing to do that, your brain is really, really good at doing that. Like, most people actually fail with the capital F because they don't keep going, because it's very hard. I mean, really, there's all kinds of strategy about picking the right business and doing things right, but really you could pick any business, like any idea. I mean, because there's some stupid ideas out there that have been extremely successful, and as long as you are pounding the pavement every day and you keep on going, it might take you a while, but you'll eventually succeed at just about any business. Not because and it'll significantly change from what you envisioned it, but by continuing to go forward, I mean, you eventually hit success. Like, your brain does not let you. It's just like I just did a podcast about juggling for Get Up and Code. And like, if you've ever tried to learn how to juggle, like, if you keep on trying, you will get it. Like, there's not one person that will not learn how to juggle, but it doesn't seem like you're making progress. Like, you're not consciously trying to make progress. I mean, like, that you're recognizing, but your brain is automatically smart enough to know what is, that this is better and this is worse, and what's good and what's bad, and to narrow it down until, after so many hours, eventually, bam, you're suddenly can do it. You suddenly become good at it. So it's kind of interesting, just that encouragement to when you start thinking that mindset, when you're like, as long as I keep pushing forward and allow my brain to do the work, I don't even have to do it. If I just keep on pushing forward, I will eventually learn and get there. That kind of makes it a little bit easier to go down that road, but it's hard when you're going down that road. You're not seeing the results.
And I was looking around my desk in my office to see if there were anything that I could juggle while you were talking about that, but I could only find awkwardly shaped objects, and it's been a while, so I didn't want to do it.
Yeah. It's funny. Can you juggle, Josh?
Yes. Yeah. Most
programmers can juggle.
Interesting.
I think it's a higher population, because I was just talking to this guy on Get Up and Code. I just recorded. He does joggling, so he juggles while running.
That's interesting.
It's a real thing. It's a real thing.
That's
but
good.
I thought it was interesting because I figured that audience would probably do well with Get Up and Code, because I always see programmers juggling.
Huh.
It's another thing, another mindless activity that takes physical concentration, eyesight, hand coordination, but it allows your brain to think about other things. It's like you were saying earlier about the mindless activities, which there's a lot of psychology behind that as well, where you when you understand the problem, when you know the details, when you know the depths of the issue that you're dealing with, sometimes you need to step away and have that mindless activity in order for inspiration to strike.
Yeah.
I mean, without understanding the depth of the issue, of course, stepping away is just wasting time. You need to really, truly understand the problem before you step away to try and get that kind of creative spark. But yeah, I learned how to juggle when I was in high school. A friend of mine was pretty good at it. He could juggle 5, I think. And so he taught me how to juggle 3, and I had started working on 4. I could do 2 in one hand and 2 in the other hand, but I couldn't get both of them going at the same time. And then once you get both of them going at the same time, then you start crossing them, and then it's really juggling 4. I couldn't quite coordinate that.
Yeah, or you can do the circle juggle 4.
Yeah.
I can do circle 4, but I can't. I can do circle 3 and circle 4, but I can't do the crossover 4.
Yeah, I can do the cascade 3 where you go from the outside in, and I can do the fountain 3 where you go from the inside out. But it's But yeah, exactly like you said, John. You got to keep pushing, and you got to. I heard somebody say a while back, 90% of success is just showing up every day.
Yeah.
And even at that, I didn't show up every day with Signal Leaf. I kind of abandoned it for a while, but I've been showing up every day for the last couple of months, and it's paying off.
Yeah. I get a lot of emails and people that are asking, that are unsure of their path, and they're like, should I do this or do that? And they keep on switching paths.
Just pick one and stick with it.
Yeah, and it's like, there is some optimism. Obviously you can be on a path that's not as profitable, or that will take you a long time to get to your destination.
Right.
But it's like I always say with real estate investment too, because whenever I'm helping someone with real estate investment, they're like, well, what about this deal or this? I'm waiting for the right thing, and it's like, you just need to go. You just need to because making some investment now will be better than doing nothing.
Yes.
And trying to wait for the right perfect investment. Like if it makes sense, same thing with the business or something, like just go down that road, and you have to just stick with it, because whatever you're going to do, it's probably going to take you 5 years before you're successful. So the longer you delay that, the more roads you switch, unless you become real lucky and get 300,000 subscribers on your email contest.
Right. Unless you're one of those people that suddenly gets Pat Flynn to let him do guest posts.
Yeah,
those guys.
Just average Joe. It can happen to anybody.
By the way, I subscribe to this newsletter from, I think it's called Video Fruit or something. This guy.
Yep.
And he just mentioned you today. He linked to your post.
He mentioned me?
Yep. He said that he was trying to grow his email list.
Mm-hmm.
And then he read your post, and so he did a contest, and he grew it by he hit his goal of hitting 100 a day now.
Nice.
And he had more results than he's ever had before.
Can you forward that to me?
Yes, I will.
That's pretty awesome.
Yeah, I've read his. He's written some good stuff on Noah's blog.
Nice.
Okay, that's where I probably found him.
Yeah. He had a really good post about opt-in. About how he optimized his opt-ins with the single purpose giveaway, where you have like a very targeted giveaway for a particular post. Like you write yours, and then the giveaway is a tool to do exactly that, or like a spreadsheet, or so it's not just like get my free generic ebook. It's like take the next step.
Right.
Yeah, his name is Brian Harris. So.
Yes, that's right. I knew his first name was Brian something.
But I think he's got a pretty big following, so you're probably going to see even more hits on the on the Pat Flynn posts. So that's
somebody else would do the same and link back to you, and somebody else would do the same and link back to you.
Yeah, I mean, you're making you actually have a business from that one post.
Yes.
Yeah,
basically.
I thought that could happen. That's why I put I actually had a lot going on at the time. And when that opportunity hit, I was like, nope, this is $1,000 an hour work right here.
Yep.
I put everything else on hold, and took me about 15 hours to put that together.
Yep.
And that has really paid off. So yeah, I think I've made like around 8K with it so far.
Nice.
Wow.
So yeah, and it's looking. So I'm up to about almost like $2,050 right now for the month. And nothing's happened this month.
Wow.
Yeah.
Nothing happened this month, so that's pretty passive as far as I know. Pat wasn't tweeting about it. It's like that should be. It'll probably drop off over time, but I should see that something like that level. So when I get a spare moment of breathing space, I'm gonna try to put a more of a funnel around that. So when people come in, so right now they're signing up for my email list, and I just shoot them a discount code.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And 33% of those people are buying the plugin.
Wow.
Well, if I can increase that to 50% by sending a couple follow-ups, that'll be a nice little additional windfall there. So I'll probably do an FAQ email. So because I get a lot of questions, and there have been like dozens of comments on that post, and I've answered most of them. So I'm going to go through that, pick out the most common questions, and then put those in an FAQ email, send out the next day, and then the day after that, I'm going to probably do like a testimonial. And actually, maybe Brian would be a good one to feature in that. So,
yeah, definitely.
Yep. So yeah, I've had a lot of people it's kind of what I thought. Like I tried to frame it for people like you're not gonna probably get what I got.
Right.
But a lot of people are saying, oh yeah, I doubled my email list from 500 to 1,000, or I added 200% to my email list. So, people are definitely getting some results with it.
Yeah, I almost doubled mine. I went from 2,500 to 4,000.
Wow. I haven't done my contest yet. I'm at just about 6,000 on my email list, but I need to do as soon as I get back from Sweden. I think that's one of my top priorities is to get that contest done.
I need to do another one as well. My mailing list has actually been shrinking. I was at 4,250, and now I'm down to like 4,170 or something like that.
Yeah. These days, I want my list to shrink.
Yeah.
Because it's so expensive. But yeah, this has kind of actually been a big eye-opener, though, for me. And I really think that the best, so, if I'm going to dabble with anything other than just doing client copywriting work, I really think I'm going to try to do affiliate stuff, because that is, you can put if you can get like a good traffic, all you need is like a traffic source,
Right.
and then a good email sequence that that actually converts people, and you're good to go, and it's just passive and it just runs. So this week I talked to John McIntyre. He's got his marketing community, like an email marketing community that he does for $77 a month. So might be an affiliate for that. So, and then I've got there's a couple other products that I think are really good for email marketing that are like $300 and then $800.
Mm-hmm.
So I've got kind of a progression, and I think what I'm going to do is actually take my story here and turn it into like though there's just this program called what is it called? This is one of the products I'm thinking of selling, so I should probably remember the name. But Autoresponder Madness, that's what it is. Autoresponder Madness. And he in the product he talks about doing a soap opera sequence where you have like this ongoing story, and you kind of string people along and you keep open loops. Compares it to like 24.
Right.
You keep open loops so people are actually anticipating the next email, and you kind of you sprinkle pitches throughout. And then as people express interest in a particular area, you can send them into side shoots where they get 3 or 4 emails about a particular subtopic. So I'm thinking I can turn my story, which I have pretty much written in that post, I can turn that into a soap opera sequence. And and then that can be, and there's a lot of drama in there, so I can kind of keep people interested throughout. And then I can advertise that, like that can be my lead magnet. Because I wanted to build an email list about email marketing, but I was like, what in the world am I going to use? I've never been able to like figure out what to give people as a lead magnet. So, but that's perfect. So I can advertise that. I could kill with that on Twitter.
Oh yeah.
It definitely get a lot of people interested just from a Twitter ad on that, and then put them through the sequence and try to get them to buy either John's product, John McIntyre's product, or one of these other products. So
you should get on his podcast too. You should pitch him the idea. I mean,
yes.
Your story is definitely large enough, and it's related to email enough that I'm pretty sure he would want to have you on it. So
yeah, I should do that. I'll have to. I'm making a note about that.
Yeah, because that would be pretty big, I think, too. And you have to figure out what, like, if you want to link to Pat Flynn's post, your guest post on there, or if you want to just directly try and maybe you should just directly try and sell your affiliate link for Noah's product there.
At the very least, put a joshearl.com/something.
Yeah.
Have that redirect wherever you want it to go.
Yep.
That way, in the future, when people are still listening to that and they're hitting your site, and you can send them wherever they need to go.
Yep. My interview with Ben Suttle's dropping this month.
Nice.
So yeah, these interviews he puts them on an insert that he puts in his print newsletter. And so it's going to be on some garish. He likes to use like these really garish colors, like the one, like I was seeing spots for like an hour after I read this one review. So nice. I'm looking forward to seeing what color mine ends up on.
Yeah, send that out to us when you get it.
Yeah, I will.
Just hope it's not plain white and boring.
Yeah, I know that would be disappointing.
Oh, speaking of affiliates, I've got some affiliate like stat or kind of a lesson learned thing.
Okay.
Hopefully. So Craig McKeechee, the JavaScript framework guide, right? He emailed me to let me know that he's ready with his affiliate, and like this week. So I had sent out a blast to my email list today.
Right.
And so I mean, there's sales coming in. Not a huge amount, tons of clicks, like 216 clicks so far. But the first 5 sales that came in for the $31 product book. Now he's got I've got 2 sales that came in for the $199 package.
Yep.
But the fact that 5 came in for the $31, and I mean he's got a few different pricing tiers in there.
Right.
But not to pick on Craig, but I just emailed him and I was like, you might want to drop the lowest one, that just the book. And or because it's just it's too much, I think. I mean, there's a pricing lesson in there, right? Because if you can buy something for $31 just the book, people are choosing that instead of the $79, the books and the videos, or the $199, the one that he's really trying to sell, which is the complete package. So yeah, there's because that ratio is too, like, most people should be buying like the middle road, right? Or
I don't think so. I actually think, like, if you think back to the 80-20 curve, that fits perfectly. You'd expect to see a block on the lower, a smaller block in the middle, and the smallest block on the top one. But a lot of times that top tier ends up making up most of your sales or most of your profit, just because.
So I would also disagree, only because I actually coached Craig into building that pricing structure he has.
Vested interest.
Vested interest, yes. No, but I agree with Josh. I think having that $31, $31.79, $199 is appropriate, because there are going to be people that are going to be waffly, and they won't want to decide, and then they won't want to spend money and look at the lower one. And sure, maybe you could have gotten them on the higher one if the lower one didn't exist, but a lot of people are going to see 79, nope, buy.
Well,
Yeah.
But
I would personally rather have the 31, 39 than lose anything, than lose the sale altogether.
I don't know. Here's the thing. I know that people on my list, because I know my list pretty well, would have bought the higher price one if the book alone didn't look like a deal. The problem is the pricing now. The book alone looks like a deal, and really the deal is in the middle one right now.
Right.
Which is where it's supposed to be. But see, here's the thing. It's like the pricing should be such that your default choice is the middle, because that makes the most sense. But
Right.
It's just a little bit more to upgrade to and it could be two different ways, right? So the smallest package could be the default one, the dummy one. That's kind of like, let's say the smallest one, instead of $31, let's say that it was
Get the book, but with every third word removed.
Say it was like $60, but then the book and the videos was $75. But then the complete package was like $150. Then there's no way you're going to buy just the book, because for $15 more, so that there's no upsell in there. That's an automatic. Like, the anchoring is wrong, is what I think, is because the anchoring here tells you that you're getting a deal if you go with the $39, because the $31 with the discount, the 20% discount. But the next step up from 31 is 79. So, and then it goes up to $199. So like, that is telling you that, if you just want to get the book, you can get a real good deal on just the book. Whereas it should be, the whole message should be the opposite direction. It should be, if you just want to get the book, yeah, you can buy that, but it's going to be like $70. You might as well at least buy the book and the videos for $99. Or if you really want to get the whole deal, look, $150 would get you there, and you get everything. Or maybe it's still $199 or whatever it is. But I think that it just needs to be like pushing that direction. Just seeing that many of the low ones, to me, it feels like the deal is on the low. Again, not to pick on Craig and you, Derek, but just the evidence. I mean, you don't know this until you test it.
True.
Right? And the evidence is showing me that, like, I would alter this pricing structure at this point.
Well, we should go back and look at Nathan Barry's results. That would be interesting, because he's published all his. I mean, I think John's point about testing is really good. Like, that's exactly the type of thing you'd want to split test. Offer it at different price points.
Right.
And see.
Since we're talking about Craig's structure, though, I'm looking at his sales page right now, JavaScriptFrameworkGuide.com, and looking at the very bottom of it where he has to choose a package, and there's 4 things listed, with the 4th one being the team package.
Right.
But personally, I think having a 4th one in line with the other ones is not quite right. I would personally have taken that 4th one and put it down below the other 3 as looking for a team package. Here's the details for that and the cost, and have that be a separate section on the page, because you end up with the paradox of choice with too many things on the page. Even if it's clear that the team package is not for you, having that 4th one visually adds to the complexity of choosing the one that's right for me.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
I would agree with that. And one other point too is for Craig's. Apparently, this is consult for Craig.
Yes.
But I would say that it would be really, really good if he could take the people that bought that lowest package and try to give them an upsell.
Exactly.
Yeah. If you could put those people on the low sell into a small campaign, a small email campaign to ask them, hey, what do you think of this? I'm glad you liked it. Here's a sneak peek at some of the videos, and oh, by the way,
get a special upgrade price.
Special upgrade price. Just to pay the difference or whatever, and do that upsells, do the campaign to get people into it further, because once somebody's bought that low end package, there's a high likelihood that they're going to want more. They're going to want to know more. They're going to want the other things, and just giving them that little teaser and that little nudge will help a lot.
Yeah, show them what's missing from the book they bought and and how they'll get it out of the videos.
Yeah, show them the 5 pages that you left out in the cheap one. It's like, look, here's 5 blank pages.
Here's what this page looks like with all the words.
Right. These are downloadable content add-ons from the PlayStation Store.
Yeah, I think a lot of it, like, see, the risk aversion too. I felt like my immediate feel, this is just going by kind of feel and a little bit of the data that I have. But when I started seeing sales come in as soon as my email went out, and I started seeing them all come in at the lowest tier, I immediately thought, okay. I mean, with the pitch that I did for the book, what I feel like people are probably doing is they're doing the risk adverse thing. They're like, well, I don't want to take a risk, so I'm just going to buy the book.
Yeah,
maybe I'll upgrade or see if but if I just do the book for $31, I'm not going to go wrong there. That's a pretty good deal. And really the risk aversion or the risk reversal needs to be in the promise, not in the lower tier thing. Because if you're getting someone to shop lower tier, to do the risk reversal, then that's the wrong. It's better to say, hey, go ahead and buy the big expensive package. If you don't love this thing, you're going to get a full refund. So you might as well at least try it out and check out all the stuff, and you are going to love this. But if you don't, hey, he offers a refund, of course. But
I don't see it on the choose a package though. I mean. Right. What if I see up above that in the questions? What if I hate it? But there's no indication on the choose a package that I'm going to be able to get a refund anywhere.
Yeah, it's not a bold enough. Drip does a really good job of this, because I was just looking to sign up for Drip. By the way, oh my gosh, you guys must be getting better pricing on Drip because
yes, I am. So I got in
now for me. It's like I need the business plan for $149 a month. It's going to cost me more than MailChimp. I mean, it's a totally great product. I'm just
absolutely worth it. Yeah, so I am grandfathered into the old pricing structure.
I have no idea how my pricing compares.
Yeah, Josh, I can imagine. But yeah, so my old pricing structure, I'm paying $50 a month. And the amount that I pay per month is based on list growth, not total list size.
Yeah.
Which is the old plan that they had. So yes, I am grandfathered in at the old pricing structures, and I'm falling in love with Drip more and more every day. So I mean, Craig, if you're looking for a way to do all of the stuff that we just suggested with upsells and everything, definitely hit getdrip.com and look at it. Because I just
Craig's using Drip. He's actually the one who poked me.
Yeah.
Okay.
He's got it.
Nice.
Yeah.
I did a whole bunch of really cool things with it with Signal Leaf recently. So the way I have my podcast cheat sheet set up is I built a Node.js wrapper for the API, for their web API. It's still pretty crappy code, so I haven't released it yet, but I probably will soon. But I have it set up so that when you sign up for the podcast cheat sheet, you immediately get the email from Drip for the podcast cheat sheet download. The email itself has a link to the download, but the link is a link that GetDrip gave me to track link clicks.
Nice.
So when you click on that link, you not only get the PDF for the download, but you also get an event tracked inside of Drip that will then sign you up for my second email list, my podcasting tips and blog post email list, and that email list sends out a confirmation email, and the confirmation email says, hey, I'm glad you're interested in podcasting. here's this other great mailing list that you can sign up for where you'll get all this great information, tips and tricks and all the blog posts I write and stuff like that. So it's not just a, confirm your email address. It's a pitch to give them to get them to sign up by clicking the confirmation link. So it's this amazing workflow that I've been able to set up inside of Drip, and it's taken very little work for me to do it. It's just a matter of thinking through this logically. Okay, I want to go from this step to this step to this step to this step, and okay, here's how Drip will facilitate that for me.
Yeah, I'm really excited I've got it on my plan to upgrade to move to Drip.
Yeah.
One thing that's going to be a challenge for me is I've been putting in on my blog posts, like sign up for my newsletter at the bottom, and I've got a MailChimp link, so I'm going to have to go through all those. I guess I could just do I'm probably going to have to do it at the database level and just do a search and replace the database.
Right.
But
and while you're doing that, you should probably create your own, simpleprogrammer.com/mailing list, and that way you can control all the time where they end up going, whether it's an actual page on your site or a redirect somewhere else.
Exactly.
That way you're in control of the link.
Yep. Yeah. Exactly. But yeah, on the Drip page, if you notice the promise, we guarantee that Drip will grow your list and increase conversions. If not, we'll happily refund your most recent monthly payment. I think is a pretty strong promise, and it's very forefront.
Right.
You want to make your guarantee be very much I think that a lot of I was afraid to make guarantees so prominent. But the more prominent you make the guarantee, the better. It feels like it's a scary thing to do, to say that I'll give you your money back, but that is going to result in a lot higher conversions.
Yeah, I've said that with my books. I've said in all the copy for the books, I said I will give you, at any point you are not happy, 2 years from now, email me and I'll give you your money back. And I've actually never had anyone complain.
2 years from now, you're going to have a lot.
Yeah, I know. I'm going to regret that.
Everyone put it on their calendar.
I'm adding it to my calendar right now. Request refund from Josh.
So one more thought on Craig. So Craig, if I'm sure you're listening to this, I'd like to see you email us with a breakdown of your sales.
Yeah.
Not the quantity, but the totals, the dollar totals for each
package. Yeah.
Right. And if they line up in sort of a curve,
power curve,
the power curve shape, then you'll know. I think then that's an indication that you're doing something right. If not, if it's flat,
or if it's backwards,
then you're doing something. Then that pricing structure needs to change a little bit.
Yeah, but yeah,
it's nice once you have data to actually make pricing decisions versus just guessing.
Yes.
But yeah, this was an interesting experiment though, with sending out to my list. But he's got a great product. He should definitely be able to sell the heck out of this thing. So
yeah, I thought the email was pretty good too. It felt a little AppSumo-y to me, which is a good.
Okay.
Oh, thanks. Appreciate that. Yeah, it was easy because I knew that this was such a good product, so it was easier to promote it because someone's not going to go wrong buying this. So, but so what else is going on with you guys this week?
Other than Signal Leaf and small celebration there, my last couple of weeks have actually been pretty chaotic. With trying to get Watch Me Code caught up, I've been splitting my days again between Signal Leaf and Watch Me Code stuff, and it's driving me crazy. I've been able to get 6 or 8 episodes recorded in the last 3 weeks, so I'm building that backlog again, and I think I have enough to last me through the end of November right now, which is my absolute minimum that I need.
Yeah.
Because next week is going to be all 100% focused on building the presentation for the conference I'm going to for November conference that I'll be at on November 14th. So that's been kind of killing me. It's been scrambling, trying to find time to record and get the recordings done, and I'm happy with the results. I think there's some really good episodes. This is my Mongoose JS and MongoDB series that I basically finished that today, and it's a really good series. I think there's a ton of great information in there. So I've been thinking about doing a package deal for people that are not subscribers. Like, hey, if you're not a subscriber and you want to, get this Mongoose.js course, here's a package you could pay for separately, for $30 or $40 or whatever it is, and have that and promote the crap out of that, and then give people a discount code for the Watch Me Code subscription at the end of it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's not a bad idea.
Do something, because I know I'm tooting my own horn a lot here, but I think the material in this is pretty darn well done.
Nice.
Nice. Yeah, it's great that you being able to pull stuff out of real life,
Right.
definitely going to be a higher quality.
Definitely. Yeah, this is all the stuff that I've been doing with my client work, basically. It's very intro level, not real world project, but I focused it around a real world project. And the fun part is, so I built a user object that has a username and password. I encrypt the username. I go through all the fun stuff with Mongoose.js and how to do all this. I built a blog post with an author that is assigned to a user and show how to load document references and do all kinds of fun stuff with that. But now that I'm done with the Mongoose side of things, starting with my next recordings, I'm going to get into Express.js again. And I'm going to take the Mongoose code and objects that I had previously written and show people how to build a blog using the Mongoose stuff. So it's just going to be one giant continuous series on how to do all this stuff.
Nice. Yeah, and selling a piece of that could be a nice little, even if you broke it up into chunks.
Right.
Ideally you'd like to get people subscribing, but
right.
You could still serialize it and sell it that way too.
Yeah.
So I could sell a MongoDB mini course and an Express mini course and I've got a DevTools mini course essentially for Node.js. So at the conference that I'm going to in November, I'm doing a presentation which is essentially all of my Node.js DevTools screencasts all combined into one.
Nice.
So it's pretty fun. It's material that I know really well because I'm doing this stuff every day with my consulting clients. I just got to actually put it into a coherent presentation, more than just the individual screencasts that I did. Put it all together into something nice.
Cool.
So that's it. That's for me. I'll stop talking now.
So I have. So I'm excited. Wes Boss and I are officially collaborating on SublimeTextTips.com. He got me an email this week that I sent out, and apparently I was subscribed to my own list at least a half a dozen times.
Nice.
I was testing all the drip integration with lead pages and Twitter, and so I got my email half a dozen times.
I get my own emails 3 or 4 times as well.
So I've unsubscribed most of those now, but so that went out today. I'm gonna actually check and see. So we did a link to his. I should probably have looked at this ahead of time to know how it went, but we did a link to his book, which at this point I'm not thinking we're gonna sell a lot. Holy moly, we got 590 clicks on his book, so maybe we'll sell a few things. Yeah, so we're set up. We set me up as an affiliate, and we're gonna split the commissions on that.
Nice.
And basically, he's gonna do emails, and I think also manage the Twitter account. I'm working on getting him set up to do that. Mm-hmm. And then I'm gonna help out. I'll do mainly marketing stuff. So we're gonna do a Cyber Monday push. Probably do 3 or 4 emails for that. So I wanted to get the list warmed up again and do 1 newsletter a week leading up to that. So yeah, I'm thinking we'll get a ton of unsubscribes because I haven't nailed anything in 2 months. But
right.
So yeah, and I went into my MailChimp account and looked up I still had 74,000 people in MailChimp.
Jeez.
Now that was the list that had
the cold list.
Yeah, the cold list that hadn't opened anything.
Still.
But I'd sent 2 or 3 emails to that list, and so I went in. I did a segment that was all the 3-star and above subscribers, which is people who've opened at least one email. And I had like almost 12,000. So I pulled those out and I sent them over to the Drip support team to pull in. So I'll be up to around 82,000, I think.
Wow.
I thought you were trying to shrink your list.
Well, yeah, it'll happen. I'm sure.
Yeah.
So
the Drip team is going to start sending you emails. Josh, you've had a lot of unsubscribes lately.
Yeah, I know. Well, I did. Yeah, I did explain to them. What all went down with that. So hopefully they don't can my account. But this should be. I mean, I think there'll be fairly. There'll be a decent number of unsubscribes, but shouldn't be too bad because this is a trimmed list. It's
right.
Yeah.
It was funny my conversation with Rob Walling. He was like, "Oh, just this I can see why you think this would be expensive, but just prune the list. Delete everyone who hasn't opened an email." I was like, "Rob, that is the pruned list." He's like, "Oh, nice list." But I've been loving. I haven't been in Drip for a while because I haven't been sending emails, but I've been in it more lately, and all the changes like the global unsubscribe. I had this the Kluge multiple campaign thing set up, so I went in and I deleted that, and I got them to just remove everyone who was unsubscribed from the campaign, like the hack that I'd done. So I cleaned that out.
See, I'm using that the way you were doing it, and I'm doing it on purpose though. I've got like 6 different campaigns in Drip for DerekBailey.com, and I don't have any emails sending out from any of those campaigns. I'm using them as a way for me to broadcast. So when I do a broadcast, I create a segment based on that campaign, and I send to the people that are subscribed to that campaign. Yeah. And I like that. That works so much better for me than MailChimp's segments did.
Well,
and
you can
interests
use
did.
tags for that too.
True, I could, but I like having the easily. I'm unsubscribing from this for somebody because with a tag, they got to click on something where I have code that tells it to unsubscribe. I have an event that tells it to take them off of that tag, and that's not as clear cut for the end user. The end user says, "I don't want this email list anymore. Unsubscribe," and they're done. And I really like the way that works out.
Nice. But yeah, it's so refreshing. I love Drip.
Yeah, they've made a ton of amazing changes lately. Like they have their sign up forms. So every campaign now has a default sign up form. But you can create your own forms, as many forms as you want, which drove me nuts about MailChimp. You couldn't create all these custom forms the way I wanted to, but you can do it really easily with Drip now. And you can create forms that don't even go to a particular list in Drip. It's just a form that you can assign actions to in the automation.
Nice. Okay.
They beefed up their templates as well.
Yeah, I noticed that.
Now I have the ability to do multiple templates for your emails, which is really nice.
Wes and I are talking about he wants to do a template for the weekly.
Yes, there's a new website, beefree.io, beefree.io. It's basically, it looks like the same editor, well, it's actually mailup.com, but it basically looks like and works like MailChimp's editor for building templates. But it's totally free. Befree.io. You can build responsive email templates in this and download the templates, upload that to your Drip account, and have some really nice looking templates.
Nice. Whoa, that is cool.
Yeah, I will have to look at that.
Awesome.
Sweet.
I've been focusing on plain text, but I don't know.
Yeah,
I'm not totally sold on that.
I'm going to definitely do plain text for marketing emails.
Right.
But for the weekly thing, I think that's fine to go with.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, we can experiment with it and see what happens with the and everything.
Yeah, I've been doing MailChimp's sort of nicely formatted template for a while, and this last week's email that I sent out was plain text from Drip because I didn't want to bother taking the time to build a template. But I'm probably going to build a couple of different templates on this Be Free thing.
Yeah. One thing that's still on my wish list for Rob is I really want really robust split testing of.
Right.
I mean, MailChimp had a decent split test where you could. Well, no, you could only split test your subject line. I want to be able to split test the body. I want to see whether an HTML email or a plain text email performs better.
Oh yeah,
you know, and I want to be able to split test the body within
Yep.
a sequence too.
I need that as well for
my
my mastering this course.
hmm
I need to be able to split test that very last email where I'm suggesting people sign up for Watch Me Code. And that and the other thing that we're still waiting for that they're working on is the RSS to email.
Couldn't care less about that.
I still care about it because I
know.
still want my my blog post to go out
I care about
to my
that
mailing
one.
list.
Yeah.
But even at that, I mean, right now I can do it manually, and it's not a big deal. But then again, I haven't blogged in a month, so who cares?
Nice. So yeah, oh my gosh, though I've only managed to squeeze in a little bit of work with Wes so far because this week has been crazy with copywriting stuff. I had like almost 30 emails due, and
Wow.
I have 5 more to do today.
Wow.
I actually I have PTO today, so I'm gonna writing all afternoon.
Yep.
But yeah, I'm starting to get a sense for how these the email campaigns should be structured. So that's been really encouraging. I think I'm going to definitely invest in some formal training on that because I want to see how, like, I'm starting to structure them more logically to try to work. Like I start with my conclusion and kind of work backwards from that. So it's been like I try to get myself in the right okay, here's where this person's starting, and then I need to walk them through these 5 steps before they're ready to make that purchase on the last email. So yeah, it's been nice to work on a bunch of sequences like this. In the past, everything I've always done has just been like a one-off.
Yeah.
And so I've never had to think through, okay, how should I structure a longer set of steps. But I had an interesting moment this week where so because it's been so hectic. So my mentor, I think it was like Tuesday. So I had I had stuff due on. I had something due on Wednesday, but I got it to him like on Monday. I got him 2 things on Monday ahead of schedule, and then on Tuesday he shot back a bunch of corrections, and I like freaked out because I barely have time to get all this done this week. And now I'm going to have to rewrite. Like, he wanted me to write another email. Like, my biggest weakness right now is I've been doing kind of the soft pitch. Like, I've been so used to doing sort of the soft pitch storytelling style that he wants me to, like, write a straight-up pitch on the last email. Like, you should buy this because, and kind of go from the features and benefits. And I'm not good at that. It's hard, and because I've not really done it very much. And so he wanted me to write kind of a straight pitch email, which is like the hardest one for me. So I had to write a whole new email, and then like he wanted me to rewrite a couple other emails, and so I was like super stressed out about it and freaked out, and I was kind of like, I was kind of a little bit, I don't want to say like, I was just kind of frustrated about it, and I realized, I woke up the next morning, I was like, wait a second, like, if he doesn't give me this kind of feedback, I'm not learning anything. So I kind of like smacked myself in the face and gave myself a little attitude adjustment. I need to have like the bring it on, kind of attitude about the feedback. I need to be actively. I realized that like the time pressure is the main, like, that's tough. When I have the time pressure to get all this stuff done, it's tough to take the feedback that way. But I need to, I need to keep that in mind, and I really need to ask him, like, what else, what else can I do here?
Thank you, sir. May I have another?
Exactly. Yeah, so that was good to have that little eye-opening experience. And I also realized this week I had 3 days in a row. It was really interesting. So I had a great day, then an awful day, then a great day. And as I was thinking back over it, I realized I slept really well the night before on the 2 days that were good, and I was up late the night that was really bad.
Yeah.
So I'm really trying to get to, I got to get to bed by like 9.
Yeah.
I really got to be like, headed towards sleep by 9:30, or I'm just going to have a really crappy day the next day.
Yeah, it makes a huge difference.
I'm
it
like
really
a
does.
toddler,
It does make a huge difference, though. It's certainly true.
Yeah.
I've noticed the same thing.
Yep. Yeah, I think like we tend to, you tend to like, oh, I'll sleep when I'm dead. Like a lot of people have that attitude, and no, like it really, you can't cheat on that, and you can't really catch up.
No, you can do some like mindless tasks or like grunt work and things like that without sleep, but anything that's going to require significant enthusiasm or motivation,
Right.
like the first thing that gets zapped by lack of sleep is motivation.
Yeah.
Yes.
So, and especially if you're dieting on top of that, then
Right.
you're not going to do anything. Like
Yeah,
you got to have if you have both of those things hurting you, like you're hungry and you haven't slept, man, motivation is just going to
You
drop to
are
the floor.
screwed. Yeah, one of my friends, he's the guy that I do my consulting through, at this healthcare network. He's on call. He's the primary on call for their
Oh
data
gosh.
warehousing system. So most of the time it's fine, but in the last month he's had like 15 calls at 2 a.m. for things
Oh,
failing. So he came into the office one day and sat down and looked like he was about to pass out. And on top of that, he said, "I haven't even had breakfast this morning." And there's two things that you need. There's one or two things that you need. You either need sleep or you need food. You can't go without both.
yeah.
And he's absolutely right. On the days that I am having a really hard time with eating one meal a day are typically the days that I either didn't eat enough yesterday or didn't get good enough sleep.
Yep.
And I find if I get good sleep, if I actually go to bed at a decent time, 9:30, 10 o'clock sometimes, then I'm usually fine the next day.
Yep. It's true.
Yep.
So,
Yeah, that's pretty much it for me. I've been getting my writing process down a little better. Like the kind of the approach that I was using for my book, which was outlining everything really extensively first,
Mhm.
coming back through and actually writing it. That's been working really well for these email sequences. When I first started doing this, I would just sort of throw a couple of ideas down, and then I would try to write the email, and then I'd move on to the next one, and I'd try to and do the same thing. And now what I'm doing is I'm plotting out the whole 5 email sequence, and I'm sitting down and I'm actually outlining the entire thing. So I know
nice.
exactly how, okay, here's the points I'm going to be making, here's the example I'm going to use, and here's the conclusion, and here's how it ties to the next email. So I can kind of chain them together a lot better. And then, so I do that. That takes about 3 Pomodoros for 5 emails.
Yeah.
And then I'll go through and I'll write them, and that only takes like 5 Pomodoros to just write all of them.
Right.
Because it's, I already know pretty much where it's going to go. So yeah, it's getting there. It's taken me anywhere from like it's about 1.5 Pomodoros per email. It's pretty much what it's coming down to.
That's not bad. That's not
Yeah.
bad considering I scheduled 2 Pomodoros for my weekly emails, and I'm not doing them nearly as many as you. So that's
Yeah.
Yeah, I average about 2 hours for my weekly email, but I also spend an hour of that drawing.
yeah.
Nice. Well, yeah, these are short. These are probably a little shorter. They're probably 300 to 500 words versus the longer. You guys do a little bit longer than that.
Well, this last week's email was literally copy and paste because I forgot to do
Yeah.
it.
It was good. The drawing was great, though. I love that drawing.
Yeah,
I email you and say that's awesome.
Drawing, thanks. That was definitely a fun one.
I like the style you're developing there. I mean, it's like stick figures, but it's cool looking. I don't know. It's got its own kind of style to it. It's cool.
Yep. I'm
like
having fun with it. I really like doing it. I get a lot of compliments on it. There was a podcaster who signed up for Signal Leaf a couple of weeks ago. He emailed me after I sent my canned email from Drip after he signed up, and he responded like, "I love your service. This was so easy to set up. And by the way, the reason I signed up is because I love your drawings."
Nice.
He said, like, of all the podcasting sites I looked at, they were all just canned corporate things. And I found your Signal Leaf blog and your Derek Bailey blog, and your drawings are awesome. And
nice.
Podcast cheat sheet was awesome. And so, like,
You should definitely. So that was the guy that signed up from Twitter?
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. Yeah, that would be interesting. Like if you hear that a few more times, it might be worth when you like if you want to redo the design of
Which
Signal,
I definitely do.
then incorporating that even down into it would be interesting to even see how far you could take it into the interface
Right.
of Signal Leaf itself, and like maybe do some buttons and stuff that are hand drawn, and have sort of like the MailChimp chimp comes out and
Right.
and stuff and says, hey, we're going to be off for a vacation. You can have your own little stick figure.
It's Halloween. They must be on
character.
vacation.
Yeah, they're totally on vacation today.
I logged in today and I was like wondering, what am I going to see?
Am I going to see that message?
I was disappointed that didn't pop up, but I don't think they care about me anymore because my account's paused, so I don't exist.
Yeah, well, I actually haven't seen that message in a long time. I've only had my account paused for a week.
They were listening, obviously.
I guess.
So Derek, I happened to just check the so we haven't gotten any conversions yet off of the AdWords.
No, I've been getting kind of frustrated about that.
Yeah, we've gotten some signups. We've gotten it looks like 11 signups since Sunday. So probably like something like I think there might be 15 signups so far. So yeah, we're hitting the point now where we need to start. Like we're basically at the point where we need to start converting people.
Right. I need to get a follow-up sequence
right
for that podcast cheat sheet, and I need to take all the stuff that you guys sent me on the mailing list about a how-to podcast cheat sheet or a sequence. I probably am going to start with the feedback that Matt Kramer sent me, because as a place to start, that I've got half of that material, almost a little more than half of that material already, so I can just repurpose it really quickly and easily, but I won't be able to do that until week after next because of having to focus on the conference.
Yeah. I'm looking at the AdWords stats right now, though, and the conversion, the click-through rate is over 2% on those ads, which is good, very good, and then converted, we've got 11 conversions, and then 14.47% conversion rate from people that click to people that sign up. So it's working. That's definitely working. So the question it remains to be seen whether those people are actually buyers.
Right.
And then so if they're not, then really nothing that you do is gonna be able to convince them to buy. But
the nice thing about this is you can convert them to buyers because of this particular thing, right? Because like if someone clicks like I don't know, some other product that you might be selling, right? They're looking either to buy or not to buy. But I think with this podcast hosting, they might start a podcast, right? It's like there's always like anyone could start a podcast.
Yeah.
You could convince someone that they have enough valuable stuff to say and that it's worth starting a podcast and it's not that hard. Then if they've clicked that thing, they might not have even thought about starting a podcast, and you might actually be able to. So I think it's more ripe than a lot of other things that where someone is either in the buyer category or not. I think there's a blurrier line here.
Right. So I think getting some follow-up sequencing done would be really beneficial for that.
Maybe we can work on that on the 24th or whenever we have our
Yeah.
Which I saw your email asking me to confirm that, and I think that'll be okay. But my wife's out of town this weekend, so I can't ask her, and I don't want to email her now because she's at a conference and she tends to freak out when I ask her about future things during something.
Okay, fair enough.
All right.
Yeah. So I got it. Let me write that on my calendar while I'm thinking about it, though.
All right.
I will add a note to my calendar to ask my wife about my calendar. Give me a second.
Make sure you tie a string around your finger. So remember to check your calendar.
Yes, exactly.
So I've been getting ready for my trip. I got a.
Oh my gosh! Well, you have all the essentials apparently.
It's a DS. That's
nice.
Nice.
I haven't had a DS
in
a while.
That's awesome.
I was like, and I got the Zelda Link Between Worlds, and then Bravely Default. And then there's this downloadable game, Shantae's Pirate. I can't remember what it is, but I played the previous versions. It's made by Way Forward, which is just an awesome retro. They take retro games and they bring them back. They redid Contra. They redid DuckTales.
Sounds like Russian spyware to me. So.
Yeah. But I bought like a video a controller for Android and iOS called
Right.
Phone Joy. I
Mm.
could still become an anti-sponsor.
Right.
But
Uh-oh.
it didn't really work. It used like this iCade interface for iPad, which Apple announced this new MFI interface, and so
Right.
most of the games, like half the games don't support, or more than half. There's very few games that support it, and then it was laggy.
Mm.
Like so, and then I
Yeah.
tried it on Android, and it worked a little bit better on Android, but but it was like $80. So I was like, well, there's like a
Yeah.
$12 Android controller on Amazon so I shipped back that one, and I just got the Android and
Right.
gaming on tablets and phones with controllers is not there yet.
Was
In
it
2 years
Bluetooth?
it'll be there.
Was it Bluetooth?
It was Bluetooth.
Okay.
Yeah.
I've noticed for me, I have noticed I have Bluetooth with my Mac is a huge pet peeve because it's aluminum, right?
Yeah.
Right.
I'm sure that's a pretty good shield. I cannot take this laptop over to the couch, which is 8 feet from my desk, without the stupid Bluetooth keyboard disconnecting. Sometimes it disconnects when I'm standing at my treadmill desk, which is a foot and a half away from the keyboard. It's ridiculous. Like it works as long as it's right in front of the computer. But then Apple has the stupid, this icon that pops up that occupies the center, 50% of your screen. It's like blue keyboard disconnected, keyboard connected.
Yeah.
And there's no way to disable the stupid thing.
Yeah, Bluetooth is just, I don't know, it's shaky. It's
My Magic Trackpad. When I take my setup into my closet to
Oh my
record,
gosh.
like I did this morning, totally fine. I take it in there, works
Yeah.
perfectly fine. I have no problems with it. The moment I bring it back into my office and plug my laptop back into my Thunderbolt monitor, I have to restart the Mac to get it to recognize the trackpad again.
yeah.
Even if I never shut the Mac down.
Wow.
I don't know what it is, but it's only when I take it to the office and bring it, or take it to the closet and bring it back. But if I disconnect it and go to my client office down in Temple, 30 miles away, and then I come back home and plug it back in, perfectly fine.
Yeah.
Drives me nuts, pisses me off, and I swear, Mavericks, OS X Mavericks, is causing these problems because I never had these problems. I have this problem and a problem with window sizing that I never had before Mavericks.
Yosemite or like the newest?
Yeah.
Yosemite.
Yeah, Yosemite. That's right. Yosemite.
Nice.
But yeah, so I'm pretty excited because haven't had a DS3 for a long time, and so I've like missed out on all the great games. So now it'll be like
So now they're all dirt cheap, and you get to play them all.
yeah, and these are the best of the best. So along that 10-hour, 13-hour flight, or the whole that'll be nice. But other than that, I've just been getting ready, trying to get like my stuff figured out for what I'm going to be doing. And so I've kind of organized my list and workflowy. So I've got like my whole cleanup is my focus. So the things that I need to do before new projects, and at the top of it is my blog. When I get back, I'll be moving it to a theme.
Nice.
So I've got to like research themes, and I'm going to do that category thing and have different categories in my blog, make a simple setup. And then email list. I need to switch my existing list to Drip, and then update all the blog posts to point to Drip. Create a new lead magnet for Drip.
Yep.
And then email sequence for the How to Market Yourself course. I need once I get into Drip. And then for the How to Market Yourself course, I need to do a Cyber Monday sale. I'm going to create a new landing page. And then I'm going to employ A/B testing on everything at this point. Like since I'm getting enough traffic, so probably Visual Web Optimizer. I'm going to seriously do A/B testing on the landing page to get that.
Optimizely is a lot cheaper, way cheaper.
Yeah. Is it?
And it's pretty much the same. I mean, there were a few features that Visual Web Optimizer had, but I didn't really think any of them were.
Okay, I might check that out then instead.
Compare them both. It's like I think it's like $80 and $20. Like it's a big difference.
Have you done anything with Optimizely on Signal Leaf yet, Josh?
No, I have not.
All right, we got to do that sometime.
Yes, we should.
And then I've got to get
the code installed there. We just
I know. With it. I know. I think I mean we can start probably the thing to do would be to start with the we could talk about what to do with the landing page if we wanted to change anything there, home page, and then see if we can bump the conversions up on the landing page from AdWords as well.
Right.
But let's see. Also, I did. Oh, that's where I put my create contest for email list. I have that after all that other stuff because I figured it's better to get a bunch of more emails once I have everything over to Drip and once I have a good working sequence and new landing page for how to market yourself.
Yeah.
Because there's no point in collecting all these emails and then I should put them through a good funnel.
Right.
So and then I have set up to get my 10 steps to learn course to actually do a launch and landing page on that, even though I'm selling it now. And then I finally have like the YouTube and to document the whole process and try to cross promote with other channels, and then fix Get Up and Code branding and that. And then once I have YouTube and Get Up and Code, then I'm going to get my virtual assistant or plan that out because I'll have all the tasks. And then I've got a few other things like need a bookkeeper, looking at Bench.io potentially, which
what's Bench.io?
I think it's Bench.io. It's like this online bookkeeper service.
Oh, okay.
It's Bench.co. I was looking at this. It's like one of those services that kind of it's like productized manual service. So
okay.
But it looked pretty interesting. I'd definitely like to get that. But yeah, that's my priority order of things. Once I get through that entire list, then I can start on new projects. But I want to get all that cleaned up and working. Because I really should be cranking out. I mean, I should have my How to Market Yourself course selling like 2 or 3 a day if I have a good funnel with the amount of traffic. Because I get like 3,000 views on my blog every day. Like I should be able to convert that traffic. And then the 10 Steps to Learn course should also be selling like 1 a day. Like if I can just get to that point, then I could be bringing in, like 5 to 10K a month just on those things. Before tackling any new projects, I really need to get those squared away. So.
Yeah, I'm still trying to find time to schedule in getting a virtual assistant set up. I'm still going to contact dev reps to work with them. I know the work they do, and I'm just a lot more comfortable contacting them than I am going through the interview process with Odesk or something else.
Are they pretty focused on podcast related services, or do they do other
That's
stuff?
been a fairly new thing, actually. They started out, Mandy Moore started out as the Ruby rep, and she was doing a lot of other things like scheduling and just miscellaneous VA type work originally, and then she got into podcasting because of her first clients needing podcast editing and needing somebody to just publish the stuff. And then she really started expanding and growing quickly once she started doing the podcasting stuff. And then she went from being just the Ruby rep to being dev reps and having a little team that she works with, and pretty amazing turn of events from Mandy, from what she was doing to what she's doing now.
But I think that's it for me. I'm trying to think. Oh, there was one other major thing that I remember how I was saying my video kept on skipping, like I don't know if it was probably showing up in the EntreProgrammers recordings. I don't know. I'll have to look through. But I replaced the SSD, the 4 SSDs I had inside my PC with one, and I got a Samsung Pro 850 Pro, which is like and it's a 256 gig, and I got it for like $170. It's so cheap for SSDs now.
Man, I paid $700 for a 256 gig drive back when I bought the laptop that Josh has.
I did the same around that time. Yep. But this thing is super fast, and it corrected the skipping problem.
Nice.
Like it's excellent. So, and I only need 250. I mean, with everything being so cloud based now, 256 gig is pretty much plenty for in your PC local storage. If you have a NAS that you can dump other bigger files that you don't care about, like the speed on. So
yeah, speaking of NAS, that Duracell network attached storage / cloud backup, that'll be interesting.
Yeah.
So I responded to the guy on the comments, and I looked into their product website a little bit, and it is the Duracell company. It's the people that make batteries. So
Okay.
they very clearly are trying to get into a new market. Personally, I hope they rebrand it something else because I have a hard time trusting a battery company with data storage. But I can imagine that a company that large is probably pretty good at data storage and all that stuff.
Well, let's check it out.
Completely safe up until the point where it just goes away.
Yeah.
With no warning.
That's right.
It keeps on making this sound. It's like dump,
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 dump, dump. No, I want to check it out. I want to see what.
I'm waiting for the guy to email me though. I pointed him at my contact info in that comment thread. So.
Well, he's listening to the show, so.
Yeah, apparently. So, hello, hi, email me, please.
We hold nothing back in this show. So. Yeah. But yeah, that's my plan. I just got to get through this week and I've finished reading that presentation then, and now I'm like, I want to redo my talks, but it's too late. It's too late to do it. I have to keep on telling myself, no.
Next time.
It's too late. Next time you're going to do that because you don't want to screw yourself up. You know.
Right. Now
at this point, like my slides are actually. I saw what you guys are talking about now. Like my original slides were okay. They were kind of presentations then. They just had a few things that were odd about them compared to when I tried to revise it and make it all fancy.
Right, and then it just went off the no.
And you know the whole thing about the whole book really, what it really hits home more than anything is it's the talk. It's not the slides. The visuals enhance, but and I know like the how to market yourself talk that I do. I've got the talk down, so I can.
Yeah, and that's the thing. That's that you hit it right there. The slides enhance the talk. They are not the talk. They are there to just help people move forward visually and give them cues and give them something to look at while you're giving the talk. They are not the talk itself. So my biggest advice for people that are just starting out and doing presentations, write your entire presentation in bullet points on your slides, and then cut and paste those bullet points into the presenter notes.
Yeah.
And there you have the beginning of your talk. Now go put pictures instead.
Yeah.
I usually just tell people to copy and paste like a full Word doc onto the slides because
every slide
people like to read, you know.
People would rather read your slides than listen to you.
Long form slides. I'm all about the copy.
Make sure you put a pitch at the end of it.
Yes.
Yes. But yeah, so it'll be interesting. We'll see. I'm a little bit nervous. I'm usually not nervous to give talk, but I think because this is a bigger deal one that I'm a little bit more nervous about it. But
and have fun in Malmo and Copenhagen, man. Those are both amazing cities.
Yeah, I'm gonna try. It's gonna be hard to. I mean, my plan is to stick to the one meal a day.
Yeah.
It's gonna be more difficult because of the breakfasts and stuff, the spreads that they have. But my plan is to stick to it. So.
Yep. Yeah, I did it at the conference I went to a couple weeks ago, and I found it was easy because I was so dang nervous about the conference, and it was really good because by the time the end of the day came around, I could just stuff myself with all the good food that they had, and it was worth it.
Yeah.
Yeah. When you're in Copenhagen, make sure you visit Tivoli Park because that's the original theme park. That's the park that inspired Walt Disney to build Disney World.
Okay, yeah, I'll have to check that. I got to figure out how I'm getting around and stuff because I'm staying in Malmo. I might rent a car when I'm there. I don't know.
Take the train across to Copenhagen, and then get a cab. You'll end up at the airport in Copenhagen, and then get a cab to take you into the city center.
Okay, because I got to take a train to get to Malmo anyway from Copenhagen, so I'll already be familiar with that train.
Right.
But yeah, this will be my first real international travel besides Mexico. So
in Copenhagen, just walk everywhere. Anything that you want to do in Copenhagen is within walking distance, and it's worth walking. Because on the way to everything that you want to do, you'll see 1,000 other things that are worth seeing.
I'm sure I'll probably hook up with some people over there too that I know of online and stuff. So. Yeah, it'll be interesting. But I'm probably the longest because I'm there for like I think from tomorrow till the 11th. So the conference is only a few days, but I figured I might as well stay here and explore.
Definitely.
So
on the subject of diets, right before we go, I've been doing okay this week. Last weekend really screwed me up somehow, and so today I'm back down to where I was last Friday, 238.8. My parents are in town this weekend, and so I don't want to completely screw them over on meals, so I'll probably end up eating 2 meals a day this weekend. I'm doing my best to stay away from the Halloween candy, though. I have not yet touched a single piece of Halloween candy.
Don't start.
I came close last night, but I held out, and I've told my wife that if she wants to buy Halloween candy after this weekend, which we usually do, that she has to take it to her office.
Yeah. Out of sight, out of mind.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I do not want it in the house because it will end up in my stomach.
I actually screwed up. We went to Disney's Halloween party here.
Yep.
Like took my daughter, and like I ate one of the at Gaston's thing. They have like a pork shank. So I was like, okay, I definitely need to get protein.
Right.
And then you trick or treat at Disney World.
Yeah.
And so I got all this candy, and I ate a couple pieces, and then pretty soon I ate the entire bag that night. I was still probably under calories for the day. I probably actually still lost. When I woke up in the morning, I weighed less.
Yeah.
But I ate a ton of sugar.
Yeah.
Which it might have been good. Like maybe I'm trying to justify, but because I was so low on, like it might have increased my glycogen stores and reset my metabolism a little bit. But I felt
every
bad.
now and then is not a big deal. That's the thing to remember. It's when it becomes a habit, when it becomes a norm, that's when it becomes a problem.
But I mean, I ate a lot of candy.
That's like no, you don't understand. This is a lot of candy.
My 238-pound self understands.
but it's crazy though. But there were two things from that. One is when is once you start down the road, it is much more difficult to get off. Yes. So like if I was going to eat like 3 or 4 pieces was the plan, and I didn't totally plan it out. I kind of left it to judgment, and then it's just impossible. You cave, and then for the next day I craved it.
Stuff into my mouth. I mean, just without thinking about it, I'll just be sitting there just. I mean, I have these. I like these dried mangoes, Sunsweet dried mangoes.
Oh, yeah.
They're really tasty, but they're pretty high in sugar.
Yeah.
They don't add any sugar, but it's just fruit in general. And like one bag of that is about 700 calories. And so every now and then, 5 o'clock rolls around, I'll go eat a couple pieces of that because I'm pretty dang hungry. There have been a few times though where I'll go eat a couple pieces and pretty soon the dang bag is gone and I didn't realize it.
Yeah. Yeah. So you gotta, and then I still am. After eating that candy, I was still wanting it like days after. Like it had caused that kind of a chain reaction. So that's horrible. I'm still suffering the effects actually.
Yeah.
And then the other thing is that I realized that like just a mental state is like because Halloween is now, right? So it's like you have to tell yourself, okay. Are you excited because there's free candy?
Right.
Because you're getting like $5 worth of candy. You're getting $5.
Right.
So you're gonna eat because you don't want to miss out on losing out on $5, right? Because any time of the year, if you want candy, you can just go to the store and buy candy. So there's like nothing special about it except that you associate.
You've earned it though.
Brainwashed as a kid, getting free candy, and so it's free. It's the same thing with a lot of other holidays and special occasions, or someone from your work brings in cookies or whatever. It's like, wait a minute, are you really like going to stuff yourself, or like McDonald's has a sale 2-for-1 Big Macs or what? It's like, are you really going to like this free going to cause you to fall from your goal? Because you have this perceived value. I mean, it's not like you're getting like $5,000. You're getting like a $2 value, or like or whatever it is, and you could go and you could do this anytime. Like there's very few things in life that relate to food that are like limited. This is the only chance you're going to get this. It would be like if you go to Japan and eat sushi or something like those ones are valid, but almost all the other ones we come up in our mind are not valid, and we have to like dismiss them. So.
I haven't been. I had to skip. I've had to skip both of my workouts this week so far. From just to get like that hour, I can't spare it.
Yeah.
I literally can't spare it.
All the emails you have to write. Geez.
Yeah. So I skipped it on Tuesday. I skipped it on Thursday. So I'm gonna go tomorrow.
Right.
This weekend. I've got another 5. My mentor actually told me on Wednesday he assigned me another 5 emails that were due on Friday. I was like, I can get these to you by Monday. He's like, that's fine.
Okay. Yeah.
But so I have that email 1K lesson that's due Monday. I need to get that done for them. And then I got to get 5 more emails. So tomorrow's going to be busy. But I am going to go to the gym. I actually miss it. Like it wasn't. I've got it as enough of a habit now where I don't really have to force myself. It's kind of nice. It's the only time I really get to listen to podcasts or anything and kind of shut my brain off a little bit.
Yeah.
So I need that time. I like having it. Although it does kind of suck in the winter because the gym, it's at the Y. I go to the Y, and there's a big hill. I go up over a big hill and then down the backside of the hill and up and around. And the one time last year, I was like last spring, I was like trying to get into this habit, and I was like, I gotta make John proud. Fishtailing all over the place. Like I was like, okay, next time I'm gonna stay home. I don't want to die over this, but.
Yeah, just have a home plan as well, like a workout day when you can't make it. Like have a plan, and so you know what you're doing on that day.
Yep.
I can't do exercise unless it's social. I have a treadmill desk sitting right behind me. I absolutely hate that thing. Not because I hate walking. I love going outside to go for a walk, but I can't do it unless it's a social thing.
Yeah.
I can do it for a week or two, and then it's like, forget it, I'm done.
It's a pain in the butt. One thing that you could do to help motivate you, without dragging this on too long, but is something like a handheld mobile game or something you can only play while you're walking, or a book that you really want to read that you can only play while you're walking on the treadmill. It's not working while walking, but it doesn't really matter. Like you know what I mean. So that's one little hack.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I've tried stuff like that before, and it works for a while, but it eventually.
Pretty soon you figure out, hey, I can read that book anytime.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah. Currently, I just do 45 minutes a day, and I answer my email. That's when I answer my email. When I'm walking on the treadmill, I have it on incline of 10 at just like 2 miles an hour, and I answer my email, and then that usually takes 30 minutes, and I have 15 minutes left over, and so I usually read a book.
Right.
So.
Yeah, I got to do something. I'm losing weight, which is good, but I got to get my heart health in shape. All right, guys, we should get going. I gotta take my starving parents to lunch.
Okay.
Gotta go write some emails.
All right.
All right. Take care. See you guys.
Wanna start a business, but you just know how to code. Listen to John, Josh, and Derek as we figure it out. We are the EntreProgrammers, and we'll teach you straight up to be developers.